Learn some quick ways to create islands so that you can take advantage of the reduced cost for multiple islands. Creating your own virtual island can be a lot of fun, but time consuming. So I'll show you some ways I quickly put together some islands using my non-artistic abilities, which I hope you can improve on, and can get you moving more quickly, and you can modify and improve them later. Now I'm going to show you from a different view the island that I quickly assembled. I've been using Linda Kelly's work for a while, and if you are familiar with it, you'll see that in front of me on this island I've put together a lot of the materials from her boardwalk OAR, which I uploaded, and I'll give you some tips on that. So I decided to just create kind of a fantasy island. I'm in the throes of making a lot of things here that I got from her island, but I also went over and took things from other islands that she's created in the past, and I brought in pathways, beautiful trees, and this one I'm giving myself the license to have just fantasy kind of materials. As you can see, I quickly created a landscape by putting out these colorful trees, and down below, I don't know if I can click on it, but you'll find that there are the grasses that I found, which fill in spaces quite easily. These little waterways I made myself by simply editing the terrain, and I can choose to lower an area, and if I just lower it enough, I eventually get to the water, and put in some of the materials that were available through Linda Kelly and others. And you can see over here, for example, I put in some water lilies, and I found pathways, and I'm now creating this fantasy effect. Now, the way I can get these materials quickly is by going to other islands and getting the materials. So I clicked on Map, and on my Marion Islands, I've created an island that has all sorts of just stored up materials, and many of you have been here. I'm calling it the Eclectic Island. If I want to move to it quickly, I just bring up the map, I double click it twice, I'm brought over to this particular island. And all of the materials that I have, I've made available so that you can simply right click them and drill down to take copy. You take a copy and put it in your inventory. And that's true of this island, but also of the other islands that were on that map. So when you want to get buildings, trees, etc., a quick way to do it is to come over to some of my islands. You can see the grasses here. I have small buildings, I have tall buildings. Go over, get these items, they get put into your inventory. And let me close this, I'll show you. I've been creating a rather large inventory of objects. I've even sorted them into buildings, and I can go take these things out of my inventory in a space that I own. You'll find that terraforming land can be rather challenging in the beginning, so I brought up the world map again, and notice that I have 4 different islands, because now you can get them quite inexpensively. And this particular island over in the top right quadrant has nothing on it, so I'm going into that place to show you an empty island. And what you can do to get some of these just terraformed islands themselves is you go up to World, Environment, and then you go over to the terrain, and you can upload and download RAW files, which I've put in other tutorials. So that's a quick way to get this preformed island. When you want to play with some of the free equipment that you borrowed, you would go to your inventory, and I deliberately went to this blank space because it's always good to go someplace blank when you're starting out. And okay, let's see, I have a greenhouse which isn't too big. I'm going to pull it out, but not on top of myself. I'm clicking and dragging it out, putting it down, and here is something that I can go in and edit. I can look to see what I can change. For example, I think maybe if I turn it to a different color. I'm not quite sure. Okay, yeah, it's kind of a strange look now, but you can go in and modify things and then put them back into your inventory, maybe giving them a different name. So with all of these buildings, you can quickly repurpose them, and those again are in a lot of the tutorials, but it allows you to create your own custom look without starting everything from scratch. So take some of my advice in rapid island development. Get the materials from other places, change colors and repurpose if you like. Use quick ways to get in pathways. I found that when I put in pathways, such as I have here, if I Smooth out the land, it becomes a lot easier. It's hard to build on hills. Put in flowers, furniture, and you can quickly get environments that are very inviting. I deliberately created rather exotic and crazy looks here, and so I use strange colored trees as well. But you can have more formal looks as well. Learn about downloading and uploading OAR files, and look at the tutorials for ways to manage the 4 different segments. But move quickly by using materials that exist and modifying them to suit your purposes. And have fun while you're doing it. Customize multiple islands so that you can have many different opportunities for engagement.